Cool. I remember doing TCM virtually through HBO Max, and it was the bomb. I enjoyed that so much. Now,
Good.
just to switch really quickly into the Oscar nominations, because they're out now. We all know who's been nominated. There's been a couple of award shows that have gone down that are starting to give us a little inkling of how it might go down on March 27th. But before I do that, I just want to point out that in 2012 and 13, you were the Academy's official red carpet greeter on Oscar night, and you are only the third person to hold that post. So snaps and claps to you, Mr. Dave Karger.
Thank you. That was a total honor because Army Archer and Robert Osborne had done that before me, and then they asked me to come do it. And my job was to be on the carpet with a megaphone, loudspeaker.
Yeah.
Say for all the bleacher fans. So I got to interview everybody: Sandra Bullock, George Clooney, and Eli Wallach, who was getting a Lifetime Achievement Award that night. Very, very cool experience.
I love that. And congratulations on that honor. So let's get right into it. My prediction for Best Actor, I think it's Will Smith to lose.
How can anyone beat him? I just don't see anyone beat. I mean, listen, Benedict Cumberbatch is incredible. Power of the Dog, his movie got the most nominations overall. They love that movie, but there's something about Will Smith. It's his third nomination. He's never won. He lost to Denzel 20 years ago. He's going to beat Denzel this time.
I think it's his time, definitely his time. Best Actress going in, I was thinking it was going to be Olivia Colman, but some things have kind of shifted, not for me, but shifted in terms of, I like who I like, but it's shifted a little bit, and it's looking like Jessica Chastain might upset that category.
I think so too. I was very bullish and still am a little bit on Nicole Kidman for being the Ricardos, because I think that they love this idea of the actress playing a real person, kind of like Meryl Streep for Iron Lady or Renee Zellweger for Judy. So I've never been super confident about this Olivia Colman prediction that everybody's had. I thought it was always going to be Nicole, but now Jessica Chastain winning that SAG award, and just I'm sensing like a little bit more people kind of coming back to that movie and appreciating it. And what's interesting, and I'm sure you know this, none of the 5 nominees for Best Actress are from a Best Picture nominated movie. So you can't, because a couple of years ago when Olivia Colman beat Glenn Close and everyone was so shocked, you can in retrospect say, well, yeah, it makes sense Olivia Colman won. She was from the movie The Favorite, which had gotten all these nominations.
Exactly.
She was the only nominee from her movie. This time you can't say that. All 5 of these women are from movies that didn't get a ton of overall love. So it's tough to say. I think it's either Jessica or Nicole. I would put Olivia Colman third, and I think it's going to be Jessica.
I'm gonna let you have that one because we could go into a serious debate on that one, but I want to get to the other ones because I like what I like I said earlier. Let's talk a little bit about Best Picture. Now, Coda is starting to upset things, but going into it again, I thought it was going to be Belfast.
Me too. I mean, I thought Belfast kind of had it in the bag. It won the Toronto Festival. It was getting all this attention, but it's been, I have to say, underperforming a little bit in these latest rounds of the season. It's my favorite movie. I love it.
Me too.
It didn't win any SAG awards. It got 7 nominations at the Academy, but that's fewer than I thought it would get. Katrina Balfe and Jamie Dornan not getting nominated, it was that was a knock on the movie. And then Coda beat it at the SAG awards. So gosh, here's what I think. I think Power of the Dog is going to win. And I think if Belfast and Coda were not both nominated, I think the fans who like the more sentimental movie would have picked Belfast or would have picked Coda. But because both of those movies are up, I think they're going to kind of share the votes. And I think Power of the Dog is going to win.
Okay, speaking of Power of the Dog, I'm still holding firm for Belfast because I think that either Jane Campion or Kenneth Branagh is going to take Best Director.
Well, I definitely think Jane Campion is going to win director no matter what happens. And one thing I do think could happen, and I'm really hoping it does, is that Jane Campion wins adapted screenplay for Power of the Dog and Kenneth Branagh wins original screenplay for Belfast. Ken Branagh's competition mainly, I would say, is Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza. But I think that since a lot of people are maybe expecting Power of the Dog to win because it got so many more nominations than anything else, I think they might give him original screenplay, which is, thank God, at least he'll win an Oscar for that great movie.
Well, I'm thinking, I agree that Belfast will get Best Original Screenplay. I'm thinking adapted screenplay is going to go probably for Lost Daughter, though. I'm thinking it's going to be The Lost Daughter. And I also think that that's gonna be one. Those two categories are gonna be some upset categories. And to your point about a film getting a lot of nominations, The Color Purple had like somewhere between 11 and 13 nominations and won nothing.
Nothing.
So, that can always happen too.
That's
Yeah. So Best Supporting Actor, it's looking like Troy is probably going to sweep it, but I still have a soft spot in my heart for Cody Smith-McPhee and Kieran Hines.
I know. They're both great. And coming out of Telluride Film Festival, it was like, oh, Cody Smith-McPhee, he's an Oscar winner, no question, he's got it. Because Coda had already come out. We already knew how great Coda was, but I think now there's this groundswell a little bit for Troy Kotsur, for the history of it all, that he would be the first deaf actor to win, in his category or any male acting category. Cody Smith-McPhee, I think, is great, and he's certainly the character you want to talk about. But the more you look at The Power of the Dog, he's also not this warm and fuzzy character, whereas Troy Kotsur is just such a charming character. I think that kind of gives him the edge.
I kind of agree, but I still have a soft spot for Kieran and Cody. And Cody's young, so he's got plenty of time, and he's great. Last but not least, and I know that that Best Supporting Actor category is always a little tricky because we always think it's going to turn out one way, and then it turns out differently. Like when Mark Rylance won over Sylvester Stallone, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So with Best Supporting Actress, I think this might be like an instance like the one I just mentioned. Ariana DeBose has been slaying every single awards everywhere. But I still feel like Ingenue Ellis might pull up the rear and pull an upset. I'm feeling like she might.
I don't think that's going to happen, but if it did, I know, and I love her. It's a possibility only because sometimes one performance can help another. And because everyone's going to be voting for Will Smith, I think there could be some people who say, oh, great, and weren't they great together in those scenes? And then they check them both. But I do think that West Side Story does have a lot of supporters, and this is its best shot to win. So kind of like when Tilda Swinton won for Michael Clayton, that was that movie's only real shot to win an Oscar. I think that helped her. I think that can help Ariana DeBose. And God, she's good though.
She is good. Maybe there'll be a tie. Let's hope for a tie, because that would make it really interesting if there was a tie, because I love both of them so much. I know them both from the theater world. I know Ariana from the Broadway world that I used to inhabit in. And I know Ingenue because we used to audition against each other for things when I was an actress in New York. So I've known her for years. So I'm just kind of like this for both of them because I love them so much. Dude, I could talk Oscars and movies and performances with you all day long, but I know you got to get back to that TCM set. You got to get the coins that are paying the bills from the network that is paying you. But before we go, tell everybody where they can find you on TCM and remind them about 31 Days.
Yeah, so 31 Days of Oscar is all month long, the whole month of March. Oscar-winning movies, 24 hours a day, no commercials, no editing. I'm on every Saturday afternoon starting at noon Eastern, and every Monday night starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's a dream job. And hopefully I'll see you at the Critics' Choice Awards on Sunday.
Yes, you will. I'll make sure I come and give you a big hug, and we're going to have to do a selfie so I can throw it up with this interview.
I look forward to it. I'm sitting with J.K. Simmons.
Ooh, nice. Smell you. I have no idea where I'm sitting. I'll probably be in the scrub section somewhere in the back. I have no idea.
Well, let's find each other. Great to see you.
All right. Great to see you too.